let's run you through 10 promises that you need to know from the Congress manifesto. We've gone through the entire document. Here are 10 quick pointers. Nationwide caste census, something Rahul Gandhi has repeatedly spoken about, is one promise. Let's run you through quickly the others as well. The second one that you need to know is that Rahul Gandhi spoke about this, saying we will ensure an official, a formal investigation into the electoral bonds. He's called it a scam as well. Job to youth who get 1 lakh rupees per annum. Now, so that is a promise again that's been made. Besides that, one woman in every family to get 1 lakh rupees per year. So you can see, of course, a lot of money being doled out to women, to youngsters. 400 rupees per day minimum wage will be given to farmers. They've made some very interesting points of MSP as well, sticking to their demand. MSP as per the Swaminathan report, and also they've spoken about ensuring that the Agnipath scheme is scrapped. Now, let's just also talk about the fact that the Congress has said that they will raise the 50% cap on reservations. They've spoken about bringing a constitutional amendment to make that possible. And then there's the Manrega wages, which will be increased. The 10th promise you need to know is that they've mentioned a law for civil unions of the LGBTQ plus couples. So these are some of the highlights that you need to know. Now, you've noticed that in a lot of them, guarantees with regards to youngsters, women, unemployment and all of that, it's all about doling out money to them to help them. What does that mean economically? Can India actually afford to have those kind of schemes in place? Let's take this across to Managing Editor of Business Today TV, Siddharth Zarabi, who's with us. Siddharth, good evening. What do you make of the Congress manifesto? Speaking about it also from a financial aspect, do you think, it's viable for the Indian economy? Of course, MSP is something that everyone's debated time in and time out. But the other point is with regards to the money doles that they're planning for youngsters and for women.
Very clearly, it's a rerun of the 2019 manifesto of the Congress, and it's obviously a manifesto with many promises which are really on steroids in some ways, including what we would say is basically taking a lot of money and giving it amongst 3 or 4 clear-cut interest groups: the farmers, women, students, and of course those youth who have been upset with the Agnipath scheme. In terms of the fiscal impact, let me just give you some data, because several economists that we have reached out to, people are working on the data, and it's not very clear as to what the impact will be straight off. But just some numbers. The education loan that was given out to students as of financial year 23 was 97,000 crore. Let's assume that the Congress, and you know what happens when the fine print comes, but let's assume that this is the entire write-off of the student loan. That's close to 1 lakh crore and more in terms of the impact. Let's take the Agnipath scheme. A ORF study had said over a period of 22 years, starting in 2022 till almost 2044, the total savings on account of the Agnipath scheme were close to 2,19,000 crore. And in the 5 years, starting from 2024 till the term of the next government for 5 years, if you take that data, it's 25,000 crore. Now let's go to the MSP formula, which, by the way, the UPA had rejected the Swaminathan formula. There are various estimates, and one of those estimates says 10 lakh crore will be the burden as far as MSP of this sort is concerned. So add that. How do we add the fiscal impact of the scheme for women? Again, very tough to get an accurate number, because it will depend on the eligibility of the women who qualify for that scheme were the Congress to come to power. There are several other elements, including, for example, 400 rupees in the Manrega scheme. Again, depending on the total number of man-days created, you can add a very substantial amount. So the fiscal impact of all of these promises, if they were to be added on top of the existing welfare schemes, which any government will find very difficult to do away with. The BJP didn't do away with Manrega when it came to power. So if you add the total impact, it's going to be very, very significant fiscally. Remember that in the past financial year, total tax revenues of the center are 35 lakh crore. And by some estimates, if this were to be a plain factual reading, this could mean multiple lakhs of crores in terms of additional expenditure. But we'll have to wait for the fine print really to give a very clear-cut, accurate number.
To get a definitive number, yes, we'll need more details from the Congress, perhaps, with regards to the nitty-gritties of how some of those schemes will work out. Thanks very much, Siddharth, for joining us with your analysis. They're very helpful in understanding what really will be the financial impact of some of the schemes that the Congress has referred to, has promised in their manifesto.